Hello, here we go. Back for another live stream. I'm going to put that into performance view. Welcome to another live stream of Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have a little look around at a few of the different locations today. So we're starting off. I'm currently sitting at Miami International, just before I'd have a look, see what it's like. And then we're going to go up to Cape Canaveral, have a little look at NASA and see how it's rendered over there. And then we're going to go across. Oh, hello. Being told we're cleared for takeoff. Bothered by that. And then we're going to go across to okay, just shut up. The parking brake's on, that's because we're not leaving yet. And then we're going to go across to we'll probably explore a little bit of Miami first, then explore a bit of Cape Canaveral, then we're going to go across to San Francisco, then to LA, and have a little look and see how they are rendered. Now, it's currently sunrise where we are. It's nice. We're in the TBM 930. A good little aircraft, so I do like it. So what I'm going to do. He's not clear to land because I'm here. Why is it? I can never remember where the bloody parking brake is on these things. You move out of the way. Ah, there we go. That's why it's hidden underneath. I knew it was somewhere around there. Let's quickly get out of the way, just in case this guy's landing on this runway. Pick up a bit of speed. Push the nose down just so it doesn't have the tendency to lift up. And then we'll get up in the air and we'll have a look. And positive rate. Right, I'm not going to bother changing because as soon as I change it will start giving me all sorts of grief with them talking to me. For some reason he's got his flashlight on, don't need that. Oh, I might leave it on a little bit, see if I can find where the internal light switch is. Let's reduce the flaps, don't need them anymore. There we go, we're flying across. Here's Miami. What I'm going to do is as we get closer, daytime should start to kick in a bit more. And by the time we get to Cape Canaveral, should be in daylight, we can have a look. And then when we get to San Francisco, I'll set the time of day to midday so we can have like a proper look and we can see how those places are rendered. Let's just quickly have a look and make sure the stream is all up and running okay. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm going to do is take down. You can see out the window though, we're just coming across some of the area of Miami now. And what we're going to do is have a look at the come along here, fly along and then head our way over to NASA. So yeah, I'm hoping it's going to have a bit more of a stable light today, because with yesterday it was struggling a little bit. We're just flying through. There we go. I'm not sure if that building's like that there really, because I think that's meant to be a hut or something. It's just determined it as a building. So it's put flat in the middle of the beach. But here we go, we're just flying along the coast of Miami at the moment. So what we'll do is we'll get our guy to control the aircraft and take us over to Cape Canaveral. Now you got to be careful, because I've worked out that the VFR map, which is the pop-up map you can use, is a bit faulty. So if we have a look on here, this one doesn't have the touch display, does it? So you've got to do it through. Where is it? There's a button where it lets you move this display around. I've just got to find where it is. Okay. We're not sure, but that's fine. We'll leave that for the time being. I'm sure there's a way to move that map about. I just can't remember what it is. It's not a major problem. What we're going to do is have a little look at the scenery. Watch the sunset as it comes over. One thing we can do while I'm here . Where turn them off, we don't need those anymore. There you go. So this is the sunrise across Florida. Got Miami just over there that we've flown through. Cloud level's quite low in places, so we might even get to fly through a few of the clouds while we're here. Yeah, so you got the lovely view of the sunrise over Florida. We're going to head across to Cape Canaveral. When we get to Cape Canaveral, hello, you alright? When we get to Cape Canaveral, I'll then zoom it across to San Francisco and LA. How are you doing today? You alright? We're just watching the sunrise at the moment. on the Miami coast. You can just see as we pan round, you've got the low level clouds followed by the higher level clouds a bit further up. But if you ask me, it's looking pretty nice. We're just going to make a quick turn now as we head it towards... start heading north up the coast. If we go back inside, see here's the magenta line we're going across. And we're going to follow this all the way up to Cape Canaveral, and then what I'll do is I'll cut out the middle section and zoom it straight across to San Francisco. We'll have a look at what that looks like. I'll make sure it's daytime as well. By the time we get to Cape Canaveral, it should be daytime as well. Or the sun should have risen properly then. But I don't care what you say. This looks fantastic. You get some good views in here. But I should bring the yoke back just so people can see that you can see it. We're running a bit hot, but nothing too major. As long as we get there as quickly as possible. I don't know if it gives us an ETA to there. Probably not. It's fine. Just nice casual flying over, and then when we get to the other next destinations, and possibly even if we see something good en route, we'll start taking a few little detours and having a little look down at ground level. The way the light goes across the clouds in this sim is really good. I mean, you can just see like the lighter sides compared to the darker sides. It's just very well rendered in general, this. They're flying across. I wish I could find a way to get that to zoom out. I just can't remember how to do it. I'm sure there's a bit that turns this touchpad into almost like a directional key for it. Oh, there we go. But there's nothing to zoom it out, is there, that I can see? Ah, here we go, range. Zoom that out. And then we're heading up to there. What I might do is speed run it there, because it's going to be a bit of a distance to travel, and this plane might take a bit of time to get there, so we don't want to leave it too late, but we're just going to enjoy a bit of the scenery as that sun rises and just take that in for a minute. But the clouds are completely volumetric as well, so you can fly through them normally without them like sliding off the windows. But when we get to Cape Canaveral, we'll use the drone cam and we'll have a little bit more of a look along it and see how it looks close up. I believe San Francisco and Hollywood are the proper photorealistic, so the highest level detail you can get. So hopefully when we head across there, we can get some nice shots. See if we can get ourselves landed on the Golden Gate Bridge. go travel to. I'm guessing we've gone past that bit. But yeah, it does look fantastic. I tell you what. Do we want to try and go through some of the clouds as we get to them? We could do, couldn't we? You got a little runway over there. You can see the lights going. Looks like there was a plane just there as well. Come over here, you can see how it looks as you're going through. It is a beautiful sim. Let's put this to showcase. Find ourselves a nice little camera we can use. Nice little shot of the pilots as we're flying along. Don't want to get too close to that, get sucked into the blades. It's a nice relaxing sim, this is, just to watch as well, just to see the beauty of it all. I do think TBM is probably one of my favourite planes on the game. I think it's probably one that they spent more time on, and it's the one that you saw on the trailer as well when they're revealing and stuff like that. There's a couple I quite like. This one, there's a little boat plane as well. That one's pretty cool. And you've got the Beechcraft dual piston engine plane. That one's a nice plane to fly as well. The extra is nice, but it's a bit, I find it a bit twitchy. So, especially with my controller being a bit sensitive, it's as soon as you even look at the controller, it literally, there's a barrel roll. What I'm gonna do is take control of the aircraft, and we gonna head for those clouds down there. Okay, we turn the engine down. You don't need the landing gear, we're not even anywhere near the ground. They could do with sorting out some of the announcements to make it so it's not so nuts, but let's go through here. Go through some of the clouds and have a little look through. You can see it bounce about a little bit as you're going through the thermals of the clouds, which is pretty cool. And what I might try and do, I'm worried of using that skip button in case it skips us straight over. Don't know how much further we've got to go, so let's have a little butchers. We're not quite halfway yet, but we're not too far away as we're going through the clouds. That's what I like, is that whole shady cloud look. When you're going through it, you can be partly in, get some good views on it, and it just looks great. Now if I full power it and pull up, you'll see it starting emerging from the clouds. And there's something that I love about the view of when you're emerging from the clouds. Just get that kind of wall of cloud below you. There we go, we're now out of the clouds. We've got a bit of visibility as well. Going to pull it back up again to get high enough and get ourselves back on course. What I might try and do is I'll click it and see what happens when we've gone past that altitude. So we go there, yeah. See how far into the flight takes us. Hopefully we won't miss Cape Canaveral, otherwise I'll come back out and I'll just load it directly in there and we'll take off from Cape Canaveral Airport and have a little look around. Let's see, where are we? Ah, there we go. Over Cape Canaveral. Right on cue, where we want to be. So what I'm going to do, cut the power. Which means that's the runway for Cape Canaveral. That is essentially where the old space shuttle would actually land. So if we get ourselves down low, get ourselves to go down, and then we'll do a bit of exploring. I'm going to say that's one of the launch pads over there, so we can have a look at that. And then that's the launch pads. Shouldn't be some of the launch pads. We shouldn't be miles away. I think, if I remember correctly, the assembly buildings are over this section here. There's the main building there. I wonder if it has the, like, even the rockets and that. I don't know if this has been detailed or not, so we'll find out and see. Let's get down low, try not to overstress it. 2000. So we're getting there. And then we're going to have a look. I'm always tempted when we get across to San Francisco to drop into Cessna and do a bit of landing across there. Here we go. See, we're getting low now. We have picked up a bit of speed just because of the harsh descent I had to do to get there. But here you go. This is one of the launch pads. And there's another one over there. We'll fly around here, and then it's a bit windy over here. You can hear the wind blowing over the plane. Now, by the looks of it, it's picked the AI autogen. It's picked up that there's something there, and it's just stuck a massive building there. But that's actually a launch pad. That's probably the structure for the that attached to the rocket that it's picked up. So what it's done has added in a big building that it thinks is what it actually is. But I'll tell you what, it really wants to climb this thing. So that will be the vehicle assembly there, which I can get it to try and level itself up instead of constantly trying to climb. We can have a look at. So yeah, by the looks of it, they haven't rendered the buildings in Cape Canaveral yet, because that would be the vehicle assembly, which has the American flag on one side, NASA on the other. It's actually one of the buildings which has the most paint used on it in a single section. So they haven't quite got that set up yet, but I think they'll get there on it. Oh, look, we got another plane coming in. Like a 747. Need to get this. Start trying to rise up. Why do you want to trim like that so much? Right, okay, you want to be like that? We'll use your trim wheel down here. Just getting the trim set so it stops trying to rise. There we go. Now just a little tweak. Where is that? Where did that plane go? Picked off by accident. Is that him over there, or? We head that way, get a bit of power. Oh no, and he's crashed. There we go, he's just crashed. But yes, that's Cape Canaveral. What we'll do now is move across to the next phase. Don't have enough fuel. Alright. Well, we'll land it at Cape Canaveral and see if it'll let us refuel. Don't know if it does, but we can try it and see. Follow us around. Okay. So this runway here, like I said earlier, is the one that you would normally find the space shuttle landing on before it was retired. We're going to land here. See if it lets us refuel. If it does, awesome. And then we'll go across. If regardless though, I'm going to push us straight across to San Francisco. We're a little bit off. That's fine. Let's level up. Okay, cut the power. Lift up slightly to flare. There we go, landed. That one's a nice, easy landing. So we are now touching the same tarmac that the space shuttle has landed on. And I don't know if tug of ground. No, it won't let us get up here for some reason. What about if I go into here? Will it let me just add fuel? Well, we've got a lot of fuel anyway. I just don't think it's got the range. So let's come out of this. We'll go into San Francisco next, and what I'll do is I'll choose the Cessna for that, I think. Well, actually, I'll choose a seaplane because then we can land it a little bit on the water as well. Land and go under Golden Gate Bridge while on the water, which would be quite nice. Let's get this sorted. So we're now finished there. We want to go San Fran. Now for the little icon. Nice slow, and it you can get much better little view around. There we go, put as much in as we can just to make it a little bit nicer for getting around. Make it really heavy for landing. Make it a bit interesting. Going to set that as our departure. Put it at we'll put it gate small. Fine. I'm intrigued now. Will this even? Yeah, it will reach. Okay. Arrival. Take 3 hours for this to fly down there, though. But don't worry, we're not gonna get that all the way. We want to get it. We'll bounce it across to Hollywood. Yeah, not too bad, Adam. How's it going? We're just setting up. I've just done Cape Canaveral. Wasn't too bad, but they haven't they've just used autogen for it. So in the launch pad where it picks up one of the struts to hold the rocket on. It's just put a massive tall building there because it's picked up there's a building there, and it thinks it's a block of flats. And then the building which yeah, we'll just go gate small there. The building which is the assembly building, the massive big square building with the flag and everything on it, is there, but it's just got no details on it. So what we're gonna do is get across to San Fran about 1 o'clock. It is a pity, but then, you know, not all of it's going to be randomly generated yet, but it'll get there. We'll put live weather because it looks like it's got a bit of cloud cover there as well, so it should make it look a bit interesting. I'll go down for 1 PM, so it should be daytime, and we're taking off in San Francisco, so we can have a look. Yeah, you can go to Area 51. It's not too bad. Actually, in fact, Area 51, where are we? It's Phoenix, Salt Lake City. What's the name of the airport at Area 51? I can't remember. Denver, Colorado Springs. Geography around here is terrible. I'm trying to figure out. Nope, that's Santa Fe. Where is... There's the Grand Canyon. Can't even think where Las Vegas is. How bad my geography is when it comes to this area of the world. It's somewhere in there. I'm almost positive. Yeah, we can have a look at that, but it's somewhere around here if memory serves, and you can actually land on it. I'm almost certain that it's that airport or anything like that. But we're in Phoenix now, and then Tucson, El Paso, that's Santa Fe there. Los Lunas. We're now heading out of the area altogether, I'm pretty sure. Tell you what, let me have a little butcher's area on the map and we pinpoint it. Right, so if we say Los Angeles is over there. There we go, there's Las Vegas. And there you go, that's it. I'm pretty sure Homey is the runway that's... I'm pretty sure Home is the runway that's Area 51. Let's have a look. Area 51 airport. Obviously Google Maps won't have it. Area 51 yeah, Homey Airport, so there you go. That airport there, that one is Area 51. Yeah, flying with the icon. This circle here is its range. So if you look at the planet, you've got that circle is the range on its tank that it can go. So we could potentially actually get the Homey on it, but it's so slow. Just to get from there to there, it's going to take you 3.5 hours. But what I can do, I don't know if it will let me, but if we had that as a location, I should be able to zoom it across there in short time and then come down so we can have a look at Area 51. If you like, and then we can have a little butchers and see. So if we do that, what I'll do... one. That should essentially fit within our range. If I need to, I can land at Area 51 and refuel, and then it will give us enough to get there, which is absolutely fine. So yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea, Ed. I like that. And then we can give it a little test and see. I've decided to choose the icon on this particular one because if we're going to San Francisco, we can land on the water and fly under the bridge. I quite like the icon. I was just in the TBM, which is like a single turboprop plane. Quite a nice little plane. It's probably one of the best ones on this simulator in regards to physical modelling and everything that's used for it. The disadvantage with it is it's a slightly bigger airplane with a bit more speed, so you can't really slow down and just explore as much. Goes about 200 knots. We'll load this one in and we'll have a little look and see how this flies. And what I'm planning to do, see if we can land on the Golden Gate Bridge. Fly a bit around close to the buildings and see what we can see. How's the stream looking your end, by the way? I don't know if it's got... Sorry, I'm just moving around because the light's reflected on the screen in a way that it's hard to see the chat. I don't know if there's a bigger airport which will physically... Sorry, a bigger aircraft which can land on water yet. I haven't really had a look, but I'm pretty sure there's a proper seaplane in there. This is like your little hot rod that if you had the money you could buy. I love the fact they've stuck us on a stand. Give it a second just to load the sim in. Stuck us right next to a lovely little... I don't know what that's meant to be. It looks like it's an A320. But they haven't got the liveries for it. I wonder, this will be funny. Oh, I've got to turn the thing on. Okay. So I was just moving the window so it's not in the chat. So the chat's not being hidden. So then turn the master on. No, I didn't think it was. I was wondering if it'd let me extend the gate even though we're not actually
San Francisco ground CTG 2020 request taxi for takeoff south departure. CTG 2020 taxi to and hold short of runway 19 left via taxiway Alpha.
I'll do that. Let's get the nav light on. Hello, it's got water rudder. I did not even know that was there. Good to know. Gotta check to see what all the buttons are. Have we got? So see, it looks just like a car in here. You got your little coffee mug. You got your carbon fiber dash with your altitude, airspeed, your fuel, and your RPMs. Your little center rest, which shape-wise is a little bit suspect. I really want the parachute to work, but it doesn't. It's such a shame. That'd be awesome.
CTG 2020 acknowledge last transmission.
Right. I don't want to acknowledge last transmission. So can we not just... Now, so the master switch is on. I've obviously not included the fuel somewhere. Where are you? Yeah, definitely, because I've been trying to do it using the blooming rudder, and it's not been quite the same. Started this yesterday. Where's the fuel? No, I'm not. Oh, there it is. Okay. There we go. Started the... Yeah, gotta have a cup. Gotta put my can somewhere. And the strobe lights on. Put the flaps to takeoff mode. I get this little fella to push me back. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to turn it around. Look, they've given me a route of where it wants me to go. This could be quite amusing, actually. Where's the parking brakes? Down here, in it, on this thing. Turn that off. Let's get us turned around. Yeah, it's like the little hot rod. Thanks. It does, doesn't it? It does look like a little Fiat 500 inside. Wouldn't surprise me if it's based on one. Oh, that cloud's got an unusual artifact running through it. Let's get us to the runway. We'll get ourselves taken off and then we'll have a little look. It's just funny. Could you imagine if you were flying around, you were like in one of those big aircraft there and you just suddenly saw this going along? You would laugh. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, definitely inside. Doesn't look like a Fiat 500 outside. There's another little plane taking off. What I'm going to do is just a rolling start straight on the runway. Let's face it, I don't think this runway can be too short for this aircraft. So here we go. The airspeed's fast enough, so there we go. Lift the landing gear up, we'll put the flaps back up as well. What I need is to head north so that we can head towards San Francisco itself. Have a little fly around. See, so yeah, this one really can go so slow. You can get a really good view of everything as you're flying across, which is good. Oh, shut up, would you? There we go, get rid of that. I don't need to hear him doing that. But if we head north, there's the bridge over there. We can have a look, see if we can find Alcatraz and all that while we're here as well. Land and drop off my co-pilot to Alcatraz. This one's wanting to climb a bit as well, so when I push down, it automatically starts climbing. But I actually think part of it's to do with the... No, that one's too much, so I'm just working the trim out to... Still lifting. I think it's the dead zone, just needs to be heightened on it, but that's fine. What do you mean blackout it is? Oh. I know I did read that. I thought I read it wrong for a second. For some reason, the buildings look really good from afar, but when you get close, it looks like they've melted in some places. It's really funny. We've had a bit of a heat wave. So what did you mean, blackout it is? Love a little bit of carbon fibre. Yeah, but what about... I'm still not 100% sure what about it. I'm intrigued. If I click that rudder... Oh look, little rudder comes down the bottom. I like it. This play's got everything, this has. This is a good... Yeah, I know Call of Duty Black Ops, but what you're saying, is it out now, or... What about it? I think that... Oh, right, okay. One of the San Francisco, possibly San Francisco 49ers Stadium. I actually think that's the Golden Gate Bridge over there. I think that one's a different bridge. If we head through here, we can see the main area and then cut across to it, and it should be quite interesting to have a little look and see. Do you know when Black Ops is out? Yeah, that's right, Alcatraz. I remember now. As you were saying, I was confused for a second, but then it suddenly clicked. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, when you look outside, the general layout is fantastic. Should be interesting to see. Good, as long as it's running okay in 1080, that's what I like to see. Randomly, even though with all the graphics and everything, this simulator uses less resources than Warzone, so I can do this at 1080p without any issue. When I do Warzone at 1080p, it struggles like no tomorrow. But yeah, so this is it flat out. So you can imagine if I took this and tried to get to Area 51 from here just on its normal, it only does 100 knots. This is it physically maxed out. You can see there I've got my RPMs as high as it will go. They take forever to get anywhere of interest. Luckily the live weather isn't too bad here. So let's have a bit of a closer look of main town San Fran. We're flying through San Francisco now. This is a place where you get a lot of people taking photos around. I mean, yeah, when you get close up to it, the buildings don't look absolutely fantastic. Part of that could be down to connection though, because it's trying to download all this textures while I'm flying about, which is why you see in certain areas you can see things suddenly pop in. But for what it is, considering it's simulating the whole world, that's a lot of stuff it's got to try and work with. So I actually think, considering it looks pretty good, even if they do look a bit strange when you get close to them. That must be Alcatraz there. So if we fly ourselves round, we'll do a quick once over and have a look. No, so even the areas which technically are restricted, you can fly over. So they don't add the restrictions actually in the game. So for instance, Area 51 you shouldn't even be able to get close to, but you can actually land at Homey Airfield. No, there are ones in real life, obviously, but in the game, no, you can pretty much land wherever you want. This is Alcatraz. Going around here, it doesn't look terrible. I don't remember it having what looked like solar panels on the top, but never mind. But yeah, in reality, you wouldn't even be able to get close to Area 51, but in this game, it will let you actually land on it. I'm almost tempted to try and land on the Golden Gate Bridge in this thing. But yeah, so on this one, just to show you, because we didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, you can actually take off a bit of the speed. There you go, skimming across the water. There you go, and we're now bouncing along the water. Put my little rudder down. And there we go, we're now landed on the water. And yeah, I must admit, now I know that that rudder works. I didn't even know that was there, but now I know it's there. It turns a lot better in the water now. Take the rudder off. Get ourselves to take off again. Bouncing in the water. Yeah, the old randomly. This is the one thing which is strange, because the last gen of Flight Simulator, you did have the water effects, but they have Asobo haven't put it in on this one yet. Now that might be something they add later on. I don't know, but it is a shame that out of the whole great, how great all of it looks. I mean, even the water. I mean, the water effects are fantastic, and if you add the wind. Put the wind up, you can actually get it to be like ridiculous waves as well. You can actually get the waves to be like proper surfing waves. But it is a shame compared to how it normally is that the previous one generation did actually have water effects and this one doesn't. But like I say, they might add it in at a later stage. We'll just have to wait and see. Because a lot of these kind of things are work in progresses. Here we go. We're either going to crash or we're going to land, but we'll soon find out. Put the landing gear down. Put the flaps down to land, just so we've got a bit of lift. I think we should be able to get in there. I don't think the plane's that wide. No, it'd just be a case of whether they've actually modelled the ground to actually land on. Oh. So yeah, it landed us, but it did come to a sudden stop for some reason. Can we not go through there? No, so apparently we can land on it, but you can't go through the spires because it's got them as... It's got this as a solid object, even though you can see through it. Which is a shame. That's what happened with me yesterday when I was on the blooming... As you were skimming there, wasn't... The spray of water spit. I know, yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. There's a car there that's just that's fallen through. But yeah, I mean, the water effects, unfortunately, were better in the old game in regards to the effects with the splashes. Okay, can I reverse this thing? No, I don't think it'll even let me reverse it, so we might be stuck here. It doesn't have a reverse. You gotta remember, this is a very basic aircraft. Yeah. Does it have any ground services here?
Ground CTG 2020
Let's see if I can get a pushback on here that will push me back. Oh, well, that is just rubbish. What's the point having you? It is a shame, though, that that doesn't let you go through it. And you can see, as soon as the wing hits, you see it suddenly just stop. So landing on that bit there will probably be okay, and landing on the main bit here, but as soon as you hit where these bits are, for some reason they don't let you go through it, and the cars sink a little bit in the ground. Tell you what we'll do. Get it to load us to the cruise point. Oh, why haven't you loaded us to cruise point? I think it's loading it. So yeah, so it turns out, yeah, you can land on the bridge, but you just can't travel the whole thing. That's the other thing. On the FSX, which is the older one, and on X-Plane, you can actually land on here and go the whole width of the bridge underneath without crashing. Yeah, this one, I think it's because it's been manually crafted, or auto-gen possibly. You may find when it if they make a proper scenery for it, they will change that. It's because of the generation that it's done. That's a pain. Maybe I should choose one with a reverser. So we can do, but while we're here, let's go to Area 51. Yeah, small, and then we can take that to Los Angeles International Arrival. Again, GA, ramp GA, that'll do. But we're gonna go via Hollywood. There we go. Let's have a look and see if there are other seaplanes on here. That's not a seaplane. That's the one I quite like flying in. It's pretty good. I'm tempted to give that one a go. No, I think that's the only seaplane that's in the game as standard. Let's take the Cessna for a spin. Get that fuel up so we can make the distance. Get it set for 1 PM again. There you go, look, that's the Cessna's range. So you can see how much bigger the Cessna's range is. But when you physically look at it, an aircraft selection, compared to that, look, this is 85 knots top. The Cessna is 124. It's just generally, it can't cruise as high randomly. You wouldn't think that, but no, it can't cruise as high. Yeah, so let's have a look at Area 51 and then we'll quickly snap it into Los Angeles. I do think they've missed a trick because I did see somebody landing in Area 51 and I do feel they've missed a trick with being able to, what's the word, have like Easter eggs there. They could have easily put a little Easter egg, something to do with the fact of it being known for extraterrestrial and stuff like that. If they have put something there, no one's found it yet, but that would be good. But yeah, this Cessna that I'm about to go in is the most produced airplane in the world, as it says in the bottom left. But yeah, once I've done this in Los Angeles, I will then call it, and because I've got a U-boat video to do. So this is Homey Airport. So this is Area 51, the main airstrip there. So if I go on to, let's go drone cam speed up. That there is Area 51, as people know it. That's the airport. This is the main airport here. Obviously this would be the military base facilities, and then you've got the little subsections and everything on it there. So if we then here you go, you got a player there which is taking off. Quite a hot spot. I'm pretty sure these along here, there's a CAF along this bit here, which is like the Area 51 CAF, and you get like all your alien kind of memorabilia and stuff like that. So he's just taking off. It wouldn't surprise me if there's quite a few aircraft around here. And then this is the military base itself. If I just slow that down to 50 so it's not quite so... There you go. This is essentially the military base. Now these are probably barracks and bunkers, but because again auto-gen scenery, it picks it up. Yeah, it's weather's looking pretty good. There's not a cloud in the sky over the Nevada desert at the moment. But yeah, this has got one of the largest runways you can get. Area 51. This is where they do all the they've actually done all the testing for things like the B-52 bombers, the stealth bombers, and things like that. So they do a lot of military aircraft testing over here, which is why it was one of the main facilities for the stealth testing and stuff like that, which was why it was so top secret and gets its name for having possible extraterrestrials, because no one's been allowed to go into it to see. But yeah, that building just there, that's where Paul was. That's where he escaped from before he started running down that road and jumped and went into is it Simon Pegg, is it? And in this building here is where Roger from American Dad was held. Just in case you guys were wondering. Right, let's get this bird in the air. So let's get the master switches on, avionics. That. Yes, I know. Mix is there. Throttle control we want down. Fuel pumps to both. Get out of the way. There you go, got a few people in front of us as well. There we go, nice quick start up. Then standby battery off now because we're on. We want the beacon lights on, we want the nav lights on, strobe lights. And the fuel pump properly on. We want the pilot heat on and the cabin power. There we go. We'll take off, have a little look around, see if there's anything to see around here, and then we're going to go to Hollywood and Los Angeles directly. So, got to turn the parking brake off. Is half the battle. Luckily, the Cessna, I know where it is on this one. Let's try and get around without killing this person here. And without crashing into that building, preferably. There we go. Nice little turn. The one thing is, these cars follow these taxi lines so much. Look, you can see all the people that are here. I mean, some of the aircraft does get put in so you to give it a bit more life. But you can see all the people that get. At one point, I think this had like 50 planes flying around it during at one stage. Obviously, US. Most of them probably asleep now, so they're probably not on it. But when they're open and when they're awake, this place is heaving of people coming here. So we're just gonna take it down here. Funny thing is, oh, is that an aircraft on the road or a car? That's a car. One thing I will try and see if we can find, because you do also get... Hello Ali, how you doing? You do also get things like animals and stuff like that, birds, elephants, even bears in places, so we could have a little hunt down for one of those. Yeah, we're just taxiing through. It's going to take us straight to the end of the runway, even though this aircraft will probably be able to take off in like less than a quarter of that particular runway. I'd probably take it off before I got to the end of this taxiway, really, as well. It's interesting to see where it's going to take us. These lines, you don't necessarily have to have on. It's only because I haven't got the charts and everything for it, so at the moment, because I've got it turned off. I'm very good, thank you, Ali. How about yourself? How are you doing today? So this is the runway we're going to be taking off of. And then we'll do a quick flyby and have a look. I'm going to do a rolling start because I don't feel like we need to necessarily really stop because this thing's got enough runway. So here we go. Go back in. Just suddenly realised I haven't actually put the flaps down yet. Let's do that. Not that it makes too much of a difference because we've got such a long runway, it should take off without even needing flaps. So there we go. Ooh. Maybe we do need a bit of flaps. Good, Ali. That's nice to hear. Glad you're doing well. We'll put the flaps up just to get a bit more height, get a bit more speed up, and then we will do a quick flyby and have a look. We go to the cameras here. Got your showcase cameras. Let's get that. You've got your different showcase cameras you can use, which is pretty cool. I don't know why, with this Cessna, I always really struggle to keep it in the air. I don't know if it's... I don't know what it is on it, but I just really struggle to keep this thing flying. Smoking prohibited? Oh, bugger. But anyway. We go back to the cameras and see if I can get through it without it stalling. Would be quite nice. Show you the different views we got. I must admit the views are hard to go to use while trying to fly it as well. Alright, now I should be able to turn the flaps off to get a lot more speed. There you go, the speed's starting to go up, so hopefully shouldn't have any more issues with stalling. And then we could turn around, do a quick flyby of the Area 51 and have a look. While we do that, this heat off. I don't think I need that, and I don't need that either. I wonder if I pull the mixture out a little bit with that. Oh, who knows? Got it. Hi, Limmy, you alright? So here we go, just flying over Area 51. Considering it, the speed that this can go to, I have no idea why. I can never get it to really go for it, because it can go a lot faster than this. I'll have to have a little... Watches in a checklist, maybe. Have a look at that in a minute, but yeah, so here we go. Drop a little takeoff and flying across now. Interesting story. JFK Airport in New York, I think it was. You had Harrison Ford flying one of these planes, and he was flying into it and landed in the wrong place. He ended up not landing on the runway, but landed on a taxiway, just missing a I think I want to say a 737, but it might have been an Airbus. But yeah, because he got confused apparently while landing because of the conditions, so he missed the runway, ended up landing on the taxiway. Now we're in here. Let's quickly open a checklist and just see. Flaps done, throttles done, mixture's rich, yeah. Okay. Lean for altitude. Make it a little bit more lean. Yeah, so this whole desert area is essentially part of Area 51. But realistically, other than the actual airport, there is not that much to see here. Because it's just so much desert, essentially. So why don't we go across to our descent phase, load that in, and then we can be by, hopefully it should take us around LA. I am tempted to take the extra and fly it through the Grand Canyon because it's a stunt plane. Yeah, the Cessna's a plane I would like to learn to fly because I can imagine that would be quite good fun. Wonder how expensive a Cessna 175 is. Hi Stefan, how you doing? Right, let's see where it's put us on the... Let's see where it's put us in the world. Oh, did he? No worries. Cheers, Limmy. You get a few of them, unfortunately. We're still quite far out from Hollywood, so let's go to the approach phase. That might be better. Cheers, Limmy. I don't know why he's... You do get a few like that. We had one yesterday which was like that, and I have no idea why. It's just childish behaviour. Unfortunately, something you do get when you're on here. Here you go. So a Cessna. The asking price for a Cessna is 67 grand. Limmy's retracted. That's just what people do, unfortunately. You get a lot of it. You have to. You get a lot of it on YouTube, so you have to have a bit of a thick skin for stuff like that. But I don't really care if they want to be like that. If that's what adds value to their life, then so be it. It's a shame that that's the level they feel they've got to go to. Okay, so it's on the approach phase, but we're not going to approach. Good. Give it a second to load in fully. Okay, the engine stopped. That is never a good sign. I wonder if I've run out of fuel. Right, okay. It is really struggling with the frames at the moment for some reason. I feel a crash about to happen. Yep, I knew it. As soon as I started it, I could feel the crash was about to happen because you could just tell when it's going to go a bit funny because of the fact it starts freezing constantly. There's so much they've still got to work on to get this working properly. We'll just quickly get that loaded back up. I've got a video to do a bit afterwards for U-boat, but after that, then yeah, sure, might do if I get time. But we've got shopping later. That all depend. Well, it's only been out for 3 days, and this is probably the 5th or 6th crash I've had in 3 days. Okay, yeah, I've been on it for an hour and a half, and this is the first one I've had in an hour and a half. But still, it is crashing quite a bit. But a lot of people are saying it is a common thing. So hopefully Asobo can sort it out and get it working properly. It's just one of those things we'll have to wait and see. But we'll get it up and running. I'm just going to quickly put it to the pause window so I can quickly take a pit stop myself while it's loading. Right, okay, it's just loading in. You say Xbox for the win. There's a reason it's not out on Xbox yet. Because if it's crashing on this, it would not be stable on Xbox either. But you can't really complain. Most games have their issues when they first launch. Especially something as ambitious as this. Yeah. It does have its issues. It seems to be when you mess with the menus mid-flight. So if you just do it normally, it's fine. But when you start messing with the menus, it seems to struggle. Now, I'm not discounting the fact that because I'm streaming from a single PC, that is causing a few of the issues as well. Because they still got some optimization to do with it. So that could be half the problem. But let's go ahead to head to Hollywood. We'll have a little look, see what it looks like. And then take it from there. What shall we try? That diamond's not too bad, but it's got a bit on the top. The extra's a little bit too twitchy. Let's try the JMB. And that might be quite nice. We'll give that a go. Okay, so we'll go in 1948 CTG 1990. Okay. That looks relatively clear there at the moment as well. So let's have a look and see how this one goes. But yeah, if you come out of the menu and then load it in properly, not say doing it this way, not a problem. But when you start using that little menu at the top, that's when it seems to start having a few issues, shall we say. But it's a brand new game, brand new tech. Not nothing seen before. So you can't expect it to be working straight out of the box 100%. Not nowadays anyway, because before in old, like the way they used to make games is they used to really check it out. But bugs, and unfortunately bugs is something that happens in any game no matter what, because when you take it to the masses that they start doing stuff that they probably wouldn't do in test conditions. And for we know, it could be a server issue because it's all the details is streamed constantly from the server. It could be that which is having a choke point. I can guarantee if I was still on Vodafone's internet, this would not work at all. Limmy, you might struggle as well with how your connection's been recently. It's alright, we'll be back in a second and then we can have a look. See if we can find the Hollywood sign. And just have a little play around, have a look, maybe land on one of the beaches or something. But yeah, one thing it does do is take a long time to load. How are you today, Limmy, anyway? You alright? Wonder if there's any information on the crashes to desktop and if people have found any solutions on what's causing it. SFS 20. Yeah, it'd be good if when it comes up. I mean, this one, if I put on the details, I can imagine it's going to struggle frame rate wise. Just because of how detailed this area is. Oh, hello. Ready? Take off and land. Oh yeah, you gotta love the little quirks. Has it put me inside a building? No. I didn't even know there was a road this close to LAX airport. Well, you wouldn't want to be on that, would you? Yeah, I quite enjoy travelling. Do it for my job, so I should enjoy it a little bit. Standby, fuel pumps. I know this plane, so it might take me a second. Is the fuel? Got a little ventilation mark. Let's see if it automatically set. I'm gonna say the tanks are not on then, so there we go. The ejector seat there. Trims for takeoff. How come he's got loads of buttons on the top of his and I've only got one button? I feel like I've been let down a little bit. This one's got a nice panoramic view. Get the wings. Flaps. Definitely like a greenhouse. And could you imagine this is in LA at the moment? I can imagine this is ridiculously hot. So that's your cabin heat. This again has a little bit of a feel of whatchamacallit. Gear. So no, it does have flaps. Flaps don't look like they're doing anything on the plane though. Let's go outside and have a little look. It's a very bright plane, isn't it? Ah, the flaps are underneath it. Right, okay, so the whole wing doesn't go, just the bottom of the wing. Interesting. Seen that before. Wow, interesting to me. Not interesting to you guys. That's in up at the moment. I want to test the image. Like, we can now turn the back off battery off. Put the strobe lights on. Landing lights on. And let's get this show on the road. What do you want to know if I enjoy travelling, Limmy? Okay, well, let's get that guy to push us back a little bit, turn us around properly.
Los Angeles ground CTG 19990 requesting pushback. CTG 19990 pushback request accepted.
Let's see if this one can actually go to the front of the plane or whether he's going to disappear through the wing like the last one did. Nope, he's going... Oh no, he's turning. Turning. Probably shouldn't have started the plane yet, because that'd probably be chopping him up. Get my words out in a minute. Yeah. Good job. Good job they don't actually damage things. I'll have to remember that next time. Okay. Turn to the right is what we're going to want.
Los Angeles ground CTG 1990
Just to swing us around.
to steer the aircraft to the right. CTG 1990, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Oh, I've got the parking brake on. There we go. Just to make it easier. Get him to stop now.
CTG 1990 requesting the end of pushback. CTG 1990 request to end pushback received.
You really have to pre-plan when you want him to stop, otherwise he will just keep you going. Thing is... Oh, there it is. Little switch there. I was wondering where it was in here. Useful to know. That's it. Derek, move out of the way. Thank you very much. Let's get this taken off and then we'll fly it across to Hollywood. God, I'm right on the outskirts of the runway here. Of the airport. Okay. Gonna follow you along here. I tell you what, I would love to have an aircraft like this and then just be going through the airport, just seeing all these planes just lined up. It would be a sight, and also slightly scary in case one of them pushed back. Is this a runway here? Yeah, it's a runway here, so we're going to go straight across. I'm not too fussed about following the rules at this point because we're just having a little look around. The one thing you got to take into account when you look at the frames is it's low, but part of it is my resources are spread between this and streaming, which obviously do affect it, and also the amount of detail at this airport as well. Yeah, that didn't take long to get this thing off the ground, did it?
CTG 1990, you were not cleared to take off.
Was it not? Oh, never mind. Right, so we're at Hollywood. Here we come. Let's get a little bit of attitude. I do feel like the trees might be a bit overkill sometimes on this, because I'm sure there's not this many trees. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't know, but it feels like it's a bit overkill. Sounds a bit of a rattly, doesn't it? I don't know if I like the rattle sound it makes. If we're heading over here, I think Hollywood's going to be this way somewhere. Oh, don't tell me it's crashed again. Yep, it's crashed again. Right, alright, I'm going to have to call it there. There seems to be some major issues with this flight sim at the moment, and it's starting to bug me now. So I'm going to call it there. I'll try and see if I can record it off air, and then I'll put the video up separately, because there's no good if it's going to just keep crashing on me. I'm not sure what's causing it to crash, but I'm going to have a look and see if I can find a log and see what's causing it. We'll have to take it from there. So apologies for that, guys. But hope you've enjoyed what you did get to see. And I'll try and see if I can get it off air, and then I'll just upload it as a separate video. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Thank you very much. Bye.